Good morning. It is 20 minutes now before the top of the hour, and this is Mornings on the Dove. I'm Steve Johnson with a look at what's happening today. Senate leaders race to unravel last-minute snags in the $2.2 trillion economic rescue package to ease the financial pain of the coronavirus epidemic. Both party leaders pushed for quick passage so they can get the legislation to the House and freed it up for the country. Although Republicans say Democrats in the legislature wanted to include money for projects unrelated to coronavirus aid, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer touted what he saw in the package.
It includes funding for personal protective equipment, testing supplies, a surge in our healthcare workforce, additional Medicare funding, research into coronavirus treatments, and more. The funding will literally act as a lifeline as the number of COVID-19 cases continues to climb.
Oregon Senator Jeff Merkley says the package is necessary to address what he called the economic implosion that is taking place throughout the United States. New York's governor applauding the federal efforts to help in finding needed ventilators for hospitals because of the coronavirus. Oregon Governor Kate Brown, though, disagrees. She told reporters that the state has received only 25% of the personal protective equipment needed for hospital staffs, and her conversations with other governors shows the state is actually in competition with the federal government in trying to get those supplies.
The harsh reality is that the feds have told us that we need to go on the open market, but every state in the U.S. is competing to secure these scarce products, and we're also competing against the federal government. Several governors spoke about the fact that they were in the process of acquiring additional masks, and the federal government came in, FEMA came in and purchased those masks underneath them.
Now, Brown says that Oregon needs more masks, gowns, and gloves, and for hospitals in the state. And the federal priority seems to be focused on coronavirus hotspot areas like Washington State and New York. There is concern of the coronavirus spreading among the homeless population across the nation. And to that end, Jackson County officials are working with food providers in targeting the Bear Creek area in Medford to see if any of the 150 or so homeless might be showing coronavirus symptoms. Along with providing lunches, Steve Lambert with the County Emergency Operations Center says they've handed out flyers to the homeless outlining coronavirus symptoms, along with any emergency medical technician that will join them to hand out lunches and to observe whether any of the homeless exhibit coronavirus symptoms.
To basically just kind of touch base with folks out there, and if they're seeing maybe development of symptoms of COVID-19, we'd rather treat them sooner rather than later. So EMTs will touch base with them and determine whether they need medical assistance or not.
Now, Lambert says that they plan on checking for coronavirus symptoms among the homeless in the area, and that'll take place for at least the next 3 weeks. President Trump has said that he would like the country to open for business by mid-April. Now, some experts are warning it's not as easy as flipping a switch, and that consumer confidence is likely to be in short supply for as long as coronavirus cases in the U.S. are still rising. But the president says while countries like South Korea are moving ahead with drug testing to fight coronavirus, the U.S. also has ramped up as well.
But we now are doing more testing than anybody by far. We do more in 8 days than they do in 8 weeks. And we go up on a daily basis exponentially.
Now, even with tests being made on hydrochloroquine and remdesivir, public health experts say the coronavirus can be expected to continue to spread for at least several months. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says he's still waiting for accurate information from China on the coronavirus outbreak that began in their country. After an economic meeting of the G7 group of nations, Pompeo says there's no doubt of an intentional disinformation campaign that's been forwarded by the Chinese government. He says it extends back to accusations that the U.S. might have been involved in bringing the coronavirus to China to be spread.
You see it in the social media. You see it in remarks from senior people inside the Chinese Communist Party talking about whether this was a U.S. brought to China. I mean, this is crazy talk. And every member of the G7 today saw that this is disinformation campaign.
Now, Pompeo restated the view that China delayed in sharing information about the virus that other nations could have used as it spread throughout the globe for the past 4 months. And locally, Governor Kate Brown says she's gravely concerned about Oregon's ability to deliver basic services over the next 6 months to a year because of the economic fallout from statewide closures and the stay-at-home orders aimed at slowing the spread of coronavirus. Brown telling reporters yesterday that the state has far more needs than resources, and the economy is tumbling down as thousands are laid off. Governor plans to call a special session of the legislature as early as next week to earmark $250 million for the coronavirus response and also to ensure that there is enough money for the upcoming wildfire season.